Going into the story, one question that I had was this bracelet just an early aughts fad? Was it something that we should look back on and cringe the way we do about, Von Dutch trucker hats? Or was it actually good? And I found myself very quickly moved by that color yellow. I'm Emily McCullar, and I'm a staff writer at Texas Monthly, and I wrote the story Making the Band, an oral history of the Livestrong Bracelet. This story is about one of the first viral trends of the 21st century. Lance established the Lance Armstrong Foundation in 1997 after he beat testicular cancer, which had spread to his lungs and brain. So he was very committed right off the bat. At Nike, they were encountering a lot of cancer patients that were saying over and over again that this color yellow that was associated with Lance because of the tour, that it was really inspiring to them, and they started thinking about what can we make that's yellow. And once they had the idea, they just kind of hit the ground running. But nobody expected it to be as big as it was. Nike told them they were going to make 5 million wristbands, and within the foundation, there were only a couple of people who thought that they could maybe sell them all. Sheryl Crow, who was Lance's girlfriend at the time, wore it on the Today Show in that April of 2004. It just exploded. By the time Lance starts racing in the Tour de France, they've sold out the first 5 million and they're already on a back order. You started to see it on celebrities really quick. Lindsay Lohan wore one. You had Matthew Lillard from Scream. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson wore one. Usher had one on. Presidential candidate John Kerry had one on, and so did Bush during that election later that year. You turn on a baseball game, and the stands are full of yellow. At the Lance Armstrong Foundation, I think there were fewer than 30 employees. They were by no means prepared to become this internationally famous and popular jewelry company, basically. But they spoke about it so lovingly that it was clear that it was a really bonding moment for them, where they felt like they were part of something bigger than themselves. But one of the downsides of having your foundation be so strongly associated with one person is that if that one person falters, everything can fall apart. And that definitely happened to a certain extent with Livestrong. Rumors had followed him around since as far back as the 90s that he was using some sort of performance-enhancing drugs. He wouldn't publicly admit it until early 2013 on the Oprah show. I think the thing that really tanked it was that he had lied about it for such a long time, and he was really obstinate about it, and so I think that just made him immediately very untrustworthy to the public. Yellow on the wrist came to represent something else after Lance came clean, absolutely. Employees at the foundation were very hurt. This incredibly good experience now had a lot of negative feelings. I've talked to people who wondered if they had been complicit in this massive lie, this grift. Had they done more good than bad, or was it, without knowing, had they done more bad than good? But one thing I noticed repeatedly, every time I talked to somebody, was that they had thought a lot about it and come to the conclusion that the bracelet was still good. I talked to someone who had survived cancer as a child, and he straight up said cycling has nothing to do with cancer. I don't support cheating, but Lance Armstrong saved my life. When you're going through cancer, the value of hope really is extremely important. And even if there was one family member of one cancer patient who had an easier time watching their loved one go through chemo because of that bracelet, I think it's good. You can read the story in our July issue and at texasmonthly.com.